Oh my God!
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnik Vogon Jeffs, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the 2024 sci-fi action comedy film Borderlands. It's based off of the successful looter-shooter video game series of the same name.
That's what this is about?
And directed by Eli Roth and Tim Miller. Well, the reshoots on the movie were directed by Tim Miller. Honestly, it's a bit of a mess. I'm not going to get into the weeds of how the movie was made. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is whether or not the movie is any good. And surprise, it's not.
Total failure!
Let's get into it.
I f***ing hate this f***ing movie.
Pop quiz, hotshot. What happens when you cast Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis in a PG-13 Eli Roth adaptation of a deteriorating video game series that no one really cared to see on the big screen? Exactly what you think would happen. You get a cinematic train wreck. You get a cliche-infested, CGI-dependent wasteland of creativity. A poorly acted hour and a half of poop and pee jokes.
Could you turn this off?
And make no mistake, I love a good fart gag, but when every ounce of humor in your movie revolves around something being expelled from an orifice, it might be time to head back to the drawing board.
Come on, do the thing. This
movie is terrible, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. Alright, we start things off with a boring Cate Blanchett voiceover explaining how the galaxy used to be ruled by an advanced race known as the Iridians. They died off somehow, stop asking questions, and left a vault full of mysterious goodies on a planet called Pandora. Everybody and their mother tried to find the vault, but no dice. However, there was a prophecy, obviously, that one day a daughter of Iridia would return to Pandora and open the vault and blah, 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 blah. Everybody on the same page? Everybody good? Alright. So the story proper starts with Roland, a mercenary played by little Kevin Hart, abducting and or rescuing Ariana Greenblatt's Tiny Tina from a space station.
My dad sent you.
That's right.
His shortest soldier.
Shortest soldier.
During the escape, Roland teams up with Krieg, a psycho who was incarcerated in the same facility. 50 light years away, on the planet of Promethea, we're introduced to Cate Blanchett's Lilith, a tough-as-nails bounty hunter. She stops in at her favorite bar to prematurely celebrate the completion of a lucrative bounty.
I'm getting too old for this.
She orders some top-shelf booze before getting interrupted by some armed representatives of the Atlas Corporation, who she dispatches without a second thought. One man is left standing, who becomes a surrogate for Deucalion Atlas, president of the Atlas Corporation. He persuades Lilith to track and rescue his daughter, Tina, who is being held captive on Pandora, Lilith's home planet. Atlas gives Lilith a beacon to activate upon Tina's retrieval, and somewhat reluctantly, Lilith returns to Pandora. She gains intel from some kids, fights off some psychos, and hitches a ride on Marcus's Pandora Tours bus, so we can get a bit more exposition about vault hunters. Later that night, while making camp in the carcass of a large beast, Lilith meets Claptrap, a sardonic robot voiced by Jack Black that was programmed to help Lilith upon her return to Pandora. Programmed by who? Claptrap can't say, but I'll bet you we find out before the end of the movie. Ugh. With Claptrap's ability to access the EchoNet,
Did you say EchoNet?
Lilith steals a vehicle and promptly locates Tiny Tina at an abandoned quarry. She finds the young abductee living in a large shipping crate or some hollowed-out machinery or something, and then drops the beacon that Atlas gave her for no goddamn reason. I guess we needed to give her an excuse to find a cache of explosives under a bed. Tina then makes things really awkward for a few seconds.
Can you grab my badonkadonk?
You what now?
Before blowing up the crate. Lilith escapes in the nick of time, but then has to face off against Krieg, the psycho that had helped Roland save Tina. And even though we just saw Lilith take out psychos on 2 separate occasions prior to this scene, we're just going to accept that now she's completely incapable of dealing with Krieg, a psycho covered in scars who is apparently bulletproof. Right, of course. Well, whatever. Lilith dodges Krieg and gets a few moments with Tina before Commander Knox and her soldiers show up. They work for Atlas and were just waiting for Lilith to lead them to Tina. So, Tina tosses an exploding bunny to Knox, which gets thrown away just in time, but ends up causing all of the big yellow box things to fall apart. Oh no! Lilith and Tina survive the collapse but are soon caught by Knox. Luckily, Roland returns and everyone hops into his truck. Commander Knox and her Crimson Lance soldiers chase them through the abandoned quarry. And eventually she decides that it's cool to just open fire on them. Bullets, missiles, whatever. So much for returning Tina to Atlas. And then they just stop firing on them because they're able to catch up to their truck and box them in. And wait a minute, hold on a second. Oh, hold on. Fuck this movie. Fucking piece of shit. Garbage. Motherfucker. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay, so just as they're about to get caught, Roland makes a sharp turn into Piss Wash Gully. Noticing a rank smell, Tina opens her window and refuses to close it, until a bucket full of piss somehow makes its way into the truck, covering everyone in urine. Roland then eludes the pursuing Crimson Lance soldiers by driving through the open mouth of a sandworm, or thresher, or whatever the hell you want to call it. While fixing a flat tire, the only thing that was damaged in their escape, Lilith finds out that Tina is, supposedly, the daughter of Iridia, the key to opening the vault.
1 key down, 2 more to go. And of course, me!
The group then heads to a bar/casino/whorehouse? I don't know. The XXX and red light stuff is confusing because there isn't an exposed breast in sight. It's odd. Anyway, let's just call it a bar. A bar within Sanctuary City, run by Mad Moxie, who tells Lilith how to reach a scientist they're looking for? God, is that what's going on? I'm so lost. I don't understand anything that's going on in this movie. Lilith and company scuttle out of Moxie's bar after Roland gets recognized by Bobby Lee. They head out to meet up with Jamie Lee Curtis's Dr. Patricia Tanis, who also happens to be Lilith's estranged foster mother. Oh my god, I have such a headache right now.
Here, take 2 of these. Ah, new print. Little. Yellow. Different.
I just can't with this movie. And what is it with all of the old lady boob? There is a preponderance of aged rack in this film, and I can't be the only one to be a little disturbed by it. I'm going to be blunt. As of right now, as of writing this, it's my 3rd time viewing this movie. And I just don't have it in me. The movie has broken me. I am a shell of the man I was before seeing it. I am a husk. I am dead inside. So I'm going to lightning round the rest of this synopsis. Knox and the Crimson Whoozits find out where Lilith and company are hiding out, so the group sneaks out in a trash bin. Very apropos. They go to some underground psycho den to find the last key for the vault, but Claptrap excretes a bunch of metal and tips off the psychos to their location. The group is forced to fight their way out of the underground lair. Roland sacrifices himself to buy the rest of the group time for an elevator escape. But we all know he's not dead. We all know it. This isn't fooling anyone. Anyway, the elevator doesn't slow down, so somebody teleports everyone to safety. We find out the key to the vault is also a map. Tina catches Lilith talking to Atlas and thinks she's going to betray them, or it really doesn't matter. The next day, Tanis, Tina, and Krieg make their way to the vault. Tina tries to open the vault, but she can't. They are then ambushed by Atlas. Lilith, having just seen a recording of her mother that was hidden inside of Claptrap, shows up at the vault claiming to be the true daughter of Iridia. She's the one with the teleportation power. Sure, fine. Oh my god. Lilith then activates the vault on the condition that Atlas lets her friends go. She turns into a firehawk and kicks everyone's ass. Atlas tries a last-ditch effort to access the vault by holding Tina hostage, but this proves futile as he's basically fighting a god. And in a conclusion that lasts just slightly over 2 minutes, because, why bother with a proper conclusion, the group celebrates their victory by watching fireworks. And then Lilith flies up into the sky and becomes a firehawk firework, as if that's supposed to mean anything to us. The end. That's it. That's the movie. What a goddamn joke. So here's the good news. Surprisingly, Borderlands is not the worst video game adaptation of all time.
Feel free to applaud.
Anyone who thinks that's the case clearly hasn't seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation or Wing Commander or any of Uwe Boll's movies. Go watch those movies and then come back and tell me that Borderlands is worse. I f***ing dare you. Now, I'm not saying it isn't terrible, because it is. It's just not the worst. Imagine that for a moment. That's f***ing horrifying. And if I'm being generous, which, trust me, I am trying to be, then I'll give some props to Claptrap. Not to Jack Black or the movie character itself. The dialogue in this movie was atrocious, Claptrap included.
I'm programmed for humor, so I will process that as witty banter.
And Jack Black was clearly just cashing a check on this one. But the basic premise and design of the character, I like it. Although this isn't so much a compliment to the movie makers as it is to the game developers. When it comes to the movie, there's not much I can commend. If I'm allowed to reach a bit, I'd say that the practical elements of the movie aren't too bad. The sets and costumes that weren't produced by overworked VFX artists are, half decent, I guess. I'm trying here. I'm really trying. F it. Let's just talk about why this movie is pure garbage. Outside of the limited practical elements I mentioned in the previous section, there is nothing about this movie that screams technically proficient. The special effects are laughably bad, the cinematography is mid, the acting is awful.
Listen, I don't want to be here.
Everything about this movie is just bad. And I know a lot of reviewers will make jokes about a script feeling like it was written by AI. I'm sure that happens to some degree in the industry. I'm sure there are writers who are using AI to help them with their bad writing.
That's an understatement.
But this is the first time where I was absolutely convinced that 95% of the script for this was churned out by ChatGPT. It's like someone prompted an AI by saying, "Hey, write me a screenplay for the video game Borderlands, using every possible sci-fi action movie cliche you possibly can." Ugh. Derivative dog shit. All of it. I mean, we couldn't even establish consistent rules within the universe. Bullets seem to be in a quantum state of maybe, maybe not. In some scenes, bullets are lethal. In others, completely optional. Maybe they'll do damage, maybe not. Who knows? Who cares? And do people age differently in this universe?
Wouldn't know.
That might have been something to establish, especially since we're supposed to believe that Jamie Lee Curtis's Tannis was supposed to be a surrogate mother for Blanchett's Lilith. And Gina Gershon's Moxie knew Lilith's mother too. They're all more or less the same age. It's like the script was written for a younger, game-accurate Lilith, and nothing was changed when Kate was cast in the role. They could have fixed this with a line of dialogue or two, but no. Why would you bother doing that? And character development? Are you serious? Skip? Nope. Keep going. Calling whatever was moving this movie along a plot is an insult to anyone who's ever had to craft one. Plot development. This was just a series of random scenes where random bits of exposition were tossed in on an as-needed basis. Lilith is supposed to be the protagonist of the story, but she's so pointless and hollow as a character. "Go to Pandora and rescue my daughter."
No, I don't want to.
"Here's a bunch of money."
Oh, okay. Hey, I found your daughter, but now I'm going to team up with her. Why? Who knows? Now we're going to find a scientist. Now we need to find a key. Oh, hey, I can teleport. And I just saw this hologram message that says, "I'm the daughter of Iridia. Check me out." Now I can just teleport wherever I want. I'm so awesome. I'm so awesome that when I have my final showdown with the antagonist of the story, I won't even break a sweat. Because I'm a fire god.
I mean, if all of this happened over the course of a 20-plus hour video game where I got to shoot a bunch of stuff and feel like I was a part of it, I might be okay with it. I'd still probably finish the game with an overwhelming sense of disappointment, but at least I would have been a part of it. Know what I mean? But the hour and 40 minutes of soul-sucking, brain cell-killing boredom of Borderlands is unforgivable. I want my money back, and I didn't even pay to see it. Actually, that's not true. I paid with my life. I'm never getting that time back. It's gone. It's all gone. But at least we had a compelling antagonist. Boy. What were his motivations again? Oh yeah, weapons. That was it, right? I mean, that's what Tina says. I don't think we spent enough time with Atlas to even know for sure. Is there anything thinner than a one-dimensional character? Is zero-dimensional a thing? That's what we have here. Oh well, at least in terms of consistency, he was consistently underdeveloped. And no, the conclusion was neither satisfying or believable. At no point did I feel like any of the characters were in any sort of jeopardy. There was no struggle to truly overcome the antagonist. Lilith didn't have to make any sort of sacrifice to obtain insight or courage or anything. Like a lot of other movies these days, it felt like whoever wrote this crap gave up in the third act. Maybe they didn't know how to end the movie. Maybe, like those of us watching this garbage, they had lost the will to care. Who knows? It really doesn't matter. The end result is the same. A horrifically bad movie. A terrible experience that unfortunately lacks the gonzo elements of movies in the so bad they're good category. It's just bad. Painfully bad. I remember watching the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie back in the day, which, yeah, it's a different genre, but the point still works. When I first saw it, I was like, that was pretty good. And then when I saw it again, I was like, what was I thinking? This is not good. And then, for some ungodly reason, I saw it a third time and was like, who the hell greenlit this miraculously awful nonsense? Give me their names. Justice must be served. This is kind of like that. Except after one viewing, I was already at the who the hell greenlit this miraculously awful nonsense stage of hate. And then I watched it another 2 times. What the hell is wrong with me? Or a better question might be, what the hell is wrong with the people who made this movie? How do you screw up this badly? F this movie. F the people who made this movie. And honestly, I'm usually a, hey, like whatever you want, this is just my opinion kind of guy. But f you if you like this, because Borderlands is a truly terrible movie.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Memories are more powerful than anything Atlas could ever create. Now, got one of me.
Hard pass!